It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. There is no one snoring, it's just me. Okay. I hope so. Most my neighbors are thinking, crazy, talking to myself with a huge camera. Okay, hello everyone. Give me a second, let me turn this down. Hello everyone, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm glad you decided to stay for a while. If you're not new here, welcome back. I'm glad you decided to click on this video. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below for more videos like this one. A car just drove by, give me a minute. Okay, anyways, in today's video, we're just gonna run some errands together, and then we're kind of just gonna chit chat and talk for a little bit. I have had a really poopy day. I had a meeting with my advisor, and it went fine. It's just the meeting went really unexpectedly, and my life is gonna have some changes, and I just want some peace. So we're gonna answer some questions, and we're just gonna chit chat, talk. We're gonna have ourselves just a little sit down and talk, because that's what I need right now. So first up is we're gonna get a little snack and a little drink. So let's do that. Cue driving montage, I guess. Okay, so there's suddenly a lot of people at Family Dollar, so I'm gonna go in, grab my snacks and my drink, and then I'll come back. I'm not bringing you guys with me because that's really embarrassing, but I'll be back. This is very, very unstable. This is absolutely gonna fall at some point. We're gonna show you my snacks. I got some Haribo Star Mix. It's got just a bunch of different ones in it. I have some people hate on this all the time, but I love it. Chester's butter popcorn, and then I have a Sprite cherry lime. Does arguably tastes almost exactly like a Shirley Temple. Phenomenal. Okay, I'm gonna open my snacks, and then we'll get into our chit chat, mukbang, little thing. Okay, we're safe. I got my little battery in. How do I stay close to God even when I start to feel distant? Okay. When I feel disconnected or like distracted from God, I immediately try and figure out, okay, what could be causing my pullback, my strain from my relationship with Jesus Christ? What's different now in my life versus when I felt super close to him? And how can I get back where I want to be with God without feeling like I'm forcing myself to do it? The thing that really has to work best for me is, quite honestly, reading my Bible every morning before I start school. And then I listen to worship music a lot and stuff like that, and I know that sounds so cliche, but it works, I promise. What is something I wish more young Christian girls knew about heartbreak? How temporary it actually is, because it may last long term, but it's not going to last forever, which means it's temporary. The thing that really opened my eyes was that God isn't going to give you a soulmate that's going to break your heart like that. Like, I want every single teenage girl out there to know that, because for the longest time, I couldn't do that. Like, I could not convince myself of that. And I need every single young Christian girl to know that, because I know what it feels like to go through something like that. God wants you to be happy and thriving, not heartbroken and stuff like that. But heartbreak is evidently a part of life. And my heart was broke by someone who wasn't right for me and someone who wasn't right with the Lord. And I face the fact every day that I was so in love with a man who wasn't even Christian. Like, that's how blinded I was by him. Men are blinding. Pain really is temporary, though, because one day you're going to find your person that makes you so happy. And it's not going to matter anymore. All that heartbreak you felt prior isn't going to matter to you anymore. What is a verse that holds your life together? A verse that holds my life together, and it has for a really long time, is John 13:7. That is, what I am doing now you may not understand, but later you will. Or like something along those lines. This quote is so important to me. One of my favorite people ingrained this into my brain around the time I was diagnosed with lupus. And I have had to revert back to that verse so many different times in my life. When something has gone wrong, when I feel like something isn't going the way that I want it to. Where have I been these past few months? That's one I've kind of been pushing off. I figured we should just get this one out of the way because honestly, my life has been so wild. I have had like 6 deaths in my life since Vlogmas ended back in December, and it's not even May. That's like more than one a month if you do the math. So right now my life is pretty much just work, dance, school, and funerals. So I know, quite the life, I know. But yeah, so that's kind of where my focus has been for a while. What is something that I struggled with while I was gone? I've mentioned on here before that I struggle with being lonely quite often, and I just talked about relationships, but I'm also kind of preaching to myself. I'm a preacher preaching to the preacher. Because right now I'm in a really big stage of life and loneliness, because most of the people in my life have somebody, are in love, are married, are engaged, or are like going to be married and engaged very soon. And that's not something that's happening in my life right now, and that's really bothering me. I know, again, it sounds so sad, but unfortunately it's my reality right now. And I am 100% following God's plan on this. I am not pursuing anybody. I'm not really doing anything with anybody right now. Because I am so sure that God's plan is so much better than I can have in my brain. What kind of content will I be making now? So my goal is to mostly make religious and lifestyle beauty kind of based content. It's what I feel most called to do. It's what I feel I'm best at. And I would also love to possibly bring back my Christian Girl Talks series. My last video was a part of that series, and I would love to bring that back and to just give you guys some Christian advice, because I have lived I'm 21 years old, and I've been a Christian since I was a kid. I've had lots of ups and downs in my relationship with God. We will get to my testimony one day, but I don't know when that day is going to be. Parts of it I'm still really uncomfortable with. But I have experienced and had so much turmoil and so much heartbreak, and I have experienced so many things, and I just want to share that with young Christian women all across my social media. So that's kind of where I am at right now. Do you ever feel like you are behind in life? This is kind of a little bit of what my issue was earlier today. I feel so behind right now because I took my gap year, and a whole bunch of my credits from my freshman year of college didn't transfer, which is stupid. I'm going to fight that. But I feel so behind everyone else because, like, I would be going into my senior year of college right now, but I'm just finishing up my freshman year of college because of all the crap that I've gone through. And it's just, yes, I really do feel behind right now, and I know that it's all part of God's plan, but at the same time, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, even though I know that it's going to end up being what's best for me. I'm sorry, there's a lady. Give me a minute. How do you know when something is actually something you want in your life? This is an excellent question because I have a fantastic example. My freshman year of college, I was a musical theater major. and I loved it. I thought it was God's calling for my life. And then my whole entire world came crashing down September 1st, 2024. Whole entire life came crashing down. It literally was like an avalanche. And I kid you not, my first thought was, I'm dropping out of school. Why don't I become a teacher? And then my life since then has been, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher. And part of the reason why I was so upset earlier and why I needed to just relax was because I came to the realization that my longing to be a teacher is actually happening, and it might not be happening at the pace that I want it to, but it's happening. So I think how you know that something is meant for you is simply by the fact that you feel so drawn to it and everything is aligning the way it's supposed to, and all the stars are aligning and all the classes are going great and all your advisors are great and everybody's so understanding of your situation. Like, I was sick flat on my back for 2 months for February and most of March of this year. That's part of the reason why I didn't film, because I was so sick. And my teachers were so understanding. Did I get behind? Yes, I did. But then I ended up catching myself up, and now I am an A and B student. Almost straight A's. Like, literally, I kid you not, almost straight A's, because both of my B's are 88.8s. Like, they're almost 89, and then the 89, if I get that, it's an A. So what I'm saying is, when something is right for you and when something's from God, the stars are going to align for you. And that's just the truth. How do you make peace with unanswered prayers? If a prayer of mine goes unanswered, I take it as a not now but later kind of thing, or a not now because it's not for you kind of thing. I know that God is never going to steer me the wrong way. And that's just facts. So if something doesn't go my way, obviously it's not going my way for a reason. Okay, I think that's going to be it because I've run out of questions. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Remember that I love you and God loves you even more than I love you.